Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the campus of Appalachian State, where today we are renewing an old rivalry from the 1950s between the Airy Ridgebacks and the Appalachian State Mountaineers. This is the battle on the Blue Ridge. It is a gritty matchup between two lower programs that are now in the Sun Belt, and with the Airy Ridgebacks coming back, this rivalry is stronger than ever. The hatred between these two is going to bring us some good football today. Airy decided to start on defense for the game. Jeffy to kick off. He's going to get good toe to leather, and this will get into the end zone and be kneeled for a touchback. Appalachian State coming out first on offense. They are in a gun formation. Brings a man in motion to the left side. Hands it to the right side. His running back has space down the right sideline. He's going to make a man miss. What a juke. Breaks a tackle and gets shoved out of bounds. What a play by their running back. Following the injury, Appalachian State with a big play. They're going to run slants over the middle, and it's a completion. Cut. Second down and 4 for the Mountaineers. They are driving so far so good on this first drive. The quarterback's going to run a read option, keeps it, runs right up the middle, and he is going to get a big chunk of yards. First down and 10. The Ridgebacks are struggling this first drive on defense. They're going to hand it to the running back. Good stop there. Second down and 7. Mountaineers still in the gun. What will they do here? They're going to hand it. No, play action. He's going to throw it to the left side. Good defense. Incomplete by the Ridgebacks. Third and 7. Can the Ridgebacks make a stop early in this game? Quarterback's going to step up, throw a great pass, and it is dropped. What a play. Fourth down and 7. They are going to take their field goal right up the middle, and it is good. Ridgebacks down 3-0 to start the game. Airy is to receive the kickoff now, following the Appalachian State field goal. This is going to be returnable. Let's see if he takes it out. He does. He's going to take this right up the middle and gets not very much. Play for Airy on offense. They're going to run wishbone, hand it to Paul Withers, and he is going to get stuffed. Second down 9, staying in the wishbone. They're going to run speed option to the left side. Fumbles the ball, but Paul Withers jumps on it. Third down and 16, following the fumble. Teddy Voss going to roll out right, throws it, and that is going to be incomplete. Fourth down. Brooklyn guy now to punt for the Airy Ridgebacks. It is going to be a decent punt, nothing crazy. He's going to get him to the 40-yard line, fair caught. Appalachian State back on offense after a decent drive that only ended in a field goal. He's going to throw it to his tight end. What a catch, what a throw. Big chunk play for the Mountaineers. Appalachian State following the big play. They're going to bring a man in, rush it to the right side. He's going to have some speed to the right, but he gets tackled after 5. Second down and 5. Ridgebacks hoping to make a play to prevent them from getting at least more points, but they are not going to today. A big run right up the middle for the running back for the Mountaineers. What a play. He is going crazy. He looks like a madman running that football. They're going to step back, throw it, and he has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Appalachian State. First touchdown of the game. Following the touchdown, the Mountaineers to kick the PAT, and that is right down the middle, but there is a flag. It will be roughing the kicker by the Airy Ridgebacks. This rivalry, folks, is going to be a crazy, brutal one today. Following the penalty, the Mountaineers will kick from the 50-yard line, and this will go right into the back of the end zone. No chance of a return. 23 seconds in the first quarter. Airy coming still in the wishbone. He's going to hand it to Luther Newman right up the middle, who gets about 3 yards. Play of the first quarter, it looks like Airy comes out in the Maryland eye. They're going to hand it to Paul Withers, who gets about 2 yards, and that is the final play of the first. First play of the second quarter. Airy has the ball, third down and 5. They're going to come out in the flex bone. Teddy Voss steps to the back to throw. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to throw it, and it is going to be intercepted. Not a good throw by Teddy Voss whatsoever on the slant route. Yikes. Very poor decision by Teddy Voss there. He had his man, but he underthrew it and threw it behind him. Easy interception for the Appalachian State, who throws another interception right back. Airy with their first interception of the season. First turnover, I believe. And he's going to get a decent return past the 50-yard line. What a play by the Ridgebacks defense. You'll love to see it. By App State. The Airy Ridgebacks coming out again. Teddy Voss in a bad mindset. He tries to pitch it. He should have kept it. It's another fumble. What a turnover. Both teams turning the ball over. 3 turnovers, 3 plays. Mount Airy is struggling heavily on offense, and they give the ball back to App State, who's being pretty effective through the air. Good first down there. Good read on the RPO there by the quarterback. Appalachian State is moving the ball very effectively in both ways. They're going to try to run the ball here, but it does nothing. Second down, 11, tackle for loss for the Mount Airy Ridgebacks. Hard to come by this game. They're going to run an RPO bubble to the left side to the receiver, who makes a man miss and gets a first down. What a juke. Following the injury by the Mount Airy player, Appalachian State has the ball again, throws a hitch route over the middle, and gets a good chunk, about 8 yards. 7 yards, my bad. They have the ball again, second down and 3. They're going to hand it right up the middle. Good run, good blocks, but it does nothing right there. Third down and 2. Can the Ridgebacks force another stop and hold the Appalachian State Mountaineers to a field goal? Looks like they will. What a play by the defense to swarm the ball. Fourth down and 5. Appalachian State is going for it early in the first half. Less than 2 minutes to go. And he is going to reach for it first down. First down for the App State Mountaineers. They are going to try to drain this clock most likely. And in the first half with this drive, they're going to run RBO to the right side. And it gets about 3 yards staying in bounds. Second down and 7 following that play by the Mountaineers. They're going to bring a man in motion. Tries to keep it up the middle with the quarterback. Does nothing. Injury by the Mount Airy Ridgebacks, though. Third down and 9 for the App State Mountaineers. What are they going to do here? Quarterback's going to step back. Tries to roll out to the right side. He's going to throw a pass in the corner of the end zone, and that is caught. What a throw by the quarterback there. Also, what a catch by the receiver to keep his feet in bounds. They're going to kick this and make this 17-0 Mountaineers. Kicking off now. Will the Ridgebacks be able to actually do something on offense, or are they going to stay cold as they have so far this whole game? Return here gets to about the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for the Ridgebacks. Teddy Voss is stepping back to pass, throws it to Bohannon, who is not going to get the first down, and that is going to keep the clock running. Not a good play by Bohannon. He really should have reached for the first down. Hopefully stop the clock a little bit, but they're going to run hurry up. Teddy Voss moves the guy around. He's going to step back to throw over the middle. First down. That's going to pause the clock for just a second, but it is still running. 27 seconds remaining. Can Teddy Voss drive down the field? He is going to snap it and throws it immediately. That shouldn't have been caught. That's going to keep the clock running. Bad decision right there. Following the timeout, they are going to have to try to throw the ball again. Teddy Voss throws it, pumps fakes, and is going to throw it right to the defender. Should have been intercepted right there. Not a good play by Teddy Voss. Third down and 8. Let's see what he does now. Brings a man in motion to the right side. He's going to roll out right, and he is going to maybe throw it deep. No, he's going to take off with it and get nothing. Stopped right there. Fourth down. Ridgebacks most likely going to chuck this one deep. Maybe try to get lucky on this Hail Mary. Teddy Voss steps back, has plenty of time. Does he have the arm strength? Just short, and it is dropped anyways. So we are going to end to halftime, 17-0 Mountaineers. Kickoff now for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Ridgebacks to get the ball to start the second half. This is going to be returnable once again, and he is going to get stopped at the 20 once again. First and 10 coming out in the flex bone. Wishbone, my apologies. They're going to hand it to the right side. Does nothing right there. Second down and 11. Can the Ridgebacks do something? They're going to try to pass the ball once again. Teddy Voss is going to keep backing up and just get stuffed. Third down and 11. Can they do something? Converting on a third down would be very impactful. Teddy Voss gets sacked immediately. Fourth down 20. The Ridgebacks are going to have to punt this one. It is not looking like a good game for them. The comeback is not very much alive. This will be returnable, and he will get about 5 yards. First down and 10 for the Mountaineers. Can they keep their offensive flash that they were having in the first half going? They're going to get a broken tackle for about 8-yard gain there by the running back for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. They're going to try to hand it to him. No. Pass over the middle. First down. First down and 10 again for the Mountaineers. They are driving very effectively. They're going to hand it right up the middle for a good run. He's going to get about 4 yards on this one. Second down. Mountaineers, let's see if they try to throw the ball very effectively like they have. They're going to keep it on the ground. Who's going to bounce it to the right side? Makes a man miss. He's going to almost get to the end zone. Gets tackled just short. The running back is playing very well today for the Mountaineers. You wish that you could see that on the Ridgeback side. but they're going to get a sack here. What a play. One positive this Ridgeback defense has been able to do this season is get to the quarterback, but their secondary has been very lackluster. Third down and goal for the Appalachian State team. Let's see if they can get in the end zone and make it 24-0. Their quarterback's going to step up, and he is going to get in there. What a play by the quarterback to get into the end zone for another touchdown. Mount Airy's defense struggling heavily today and last week. Not a good sign for their defense. Kickoff once again following the touchdown for the Mountaineers. Ridgebacks, this will be returnable for them. Let's see if he takes it out. He does. Gets to about the 21-yard line. Mount Airy offense has been abysmal so far this game, and last week they've really struggled to get anything going. They're going to hand it to Paul Withers, who's going to get stopped after nothing. Second down and 11 following the run by Paul Withers. They're going to run play action here. Teddy Voss rolls out to the right side. He has a man downfield, and it is going to be overthrown. But there's a flag. It looks like it will be pass interference. The only movement of the ball for the Ridgebacks offense. Following the penalty, first down and 10 for the Ridgebacks. Let's see if they can get something going here. They're going to hand it to Paul Withers to the left side, who gets a good block. He is going to get down the field, stiff arm, first down. Final play of the third quarter, the Ridgebacks are actually moving the ball for once this game. They're going to snap the ball, throw it over the middle, good catch by Bohannon there. First play of the fourth quarter, 5 minutes remaining, second down and 1 for the Ridgebacks. Let's see if they can make the unbelievable comeback. Teddy Voss is going to throw it short, but he has a man wide open. Paul Withers down the sideline. Can he get to the end zone? He is going to get stopped at the 5-yard line. First down and goal. Their Ridgebacks are going to run hurry up here, try to catch the Appalachian State Mountaineers off guard. They're going to go into the flex bone. They're going to bring Paul Withers in motion, hand it to him up the middle, and it goes nowhere. Second down and goal. Can the Ridgebacks get into the end zone? Teddy Voss steps back to pass, throws it to the right side to Magruder, who is going to come down with the catch. What a catch! First touchdown of the game for the Ridgebacks. Also first touchdown of the season for Magruder there. They're going to make it go for 2 here to try to make it a 2-score game, and Paul Withers gets stumped. Going for the onside kick here just to have a chance. Ridgebacks are going to kick it. It's a decent kick, no bounce though, and easy recovery for Appalachian State there. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. Can the Ridgebacks defense make a stop? They are down by 3 scores still again. That's a good start to this drive for them. Injury on the play for the Appalachian State offensive lineman there. They're going to run the ball once again, and another good stop by the Ridgebacks. Another injury for the offensive line of the App State Mountaineers. Third down and 12. Can the Ridgebacks make a stop and hold them? They're going to run the ball again. Great tackle there. That's the stop they were looking for. Fourth down and 9. App State is going to punt this one back to the Ridgebacks. Decent kick there, and it might pin them deep in their own territory around the 10. It will. First down and 10 for the Ridgebacks. Good drive last time. Can they keep the momentum alive? Teddy Voss is going to roll out to the right and get sacked. Not a good play there. Second down and 20 following the sack. Teddy Voss is going to bring a man in motion. Magruder close to the side. He's going to run a play action. It actually works, fakes the defense out, but he's in his own end zone. Tries to throw it. It goes nowhere. Third down and 20. Can the Ridgebacks make something happen here? They're going to just chuck this one deep, and it is going to be caught. What a play. What a deep threat receiver they got down there. Teddy Voss, what a ball. Big way to flip the field. Insane that the Ridgebacks defense offense has actually been able to do something in this fourth quarter to make this game somewhat competitive. Teddy Voss is going to roll out to the right side, throws it to Newman in the backfield, and it is dropped. Good play by the Appalachian State defense right there. They're going to run an out route, throws it, and that is another good catch. Third down and inches now. What will the Appalachian State defense be able to do against the Ridgebacks? Will they be able to make a stop and prevent them from getting a first down? They're going to hand it to Paul Withers to the left side, who gets out of bounds. First down for the Ridgebacks following the play. They are actually trying to make this game somewhat competitive. Might be a little too late. Teddy Voss is going to roll out right, gets pressured. Second down to 10 following the pressured play by the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Can Teddy Voss do something here? They're going to run play action. He's going to get sacked in the backfield fast. Third down and 15. Ridgebacks running hurry up here, trying to at least get some yards to make it a manageable first down. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Teddy Voss takes a snap, throws it short. Not a good play there at all. 4th and 13 at the 2-minute warning. This could be the Ridgebacks' last chance. Teddy Voss steps back to throw. He's under pressure again, and it is going to be incomplete. First down inted for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. They just have to run this clock out and seal the game. They're going to throw it over the middle, and that is going to be a first down. First down, but the Mountaineers are not kneeling the ball. They are going to try to put up some yards. It's a rivalry game, folks. You expect this. 5 yards there. Mountaineers still not kneeling the ball. This will most likely be the last play of the game, though. They're going to hand it right up the middle. A spin move, and just a couple extra yards. Nothing really. Final play of the game, most likely, unless App State doesn't even snap the ball. They will not. And that is the game, folks. Appalachian State comes out and wins the battle on the Blue Ridge for the first time since 1950. 24-6. Mount Airy really struggled this game, and they will fall now to 1-3 on the season. What a game, folks.